Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to go from 0 to 500k in EAFC. So if you need a team like mine, or even better, you're in the right place, and all you've got to do is subscribe and drop a like down below to say thank you. If you do want to be in for the chance of winning up to £50 worth of FIFA points, all you've got to do is subscribe and send proof over on Instagram. And if you do want some coins in a bit of a quicker way, well, if you guys are still stuck with a team like this, and everyone you play in Champs has a team like this, then you need to head over to Sky Coach in the link below. Not only have they got the cheapest and most reliable service for FIFA coins, you can pick any amount of coins, select your console, and put in code PRORECALL for 10% off. Now, of course, I mentioned a giveaway a moment ago, and how we do these giveaways is if I do a pick like this and I get a very good player, then we will add another £50 giveaway to the timeline. So we've got one for the end of February, and we've also got one for mid-March. Can we get another one? One of three: Edison, Sanchez, Royce. I don't think any of them are even remotely good. I want to check Sanchez. Annoyingly, I've now had both of the Sanchez cards from this SBC. I mean, Edison is the highest rated. If we check, he goes for 100k, so he might not be too bad. I know he was around 60k when he was actually in pack, so maybe he's worth potentially having to go in my team, but not quite what we're looking for to get another giveaway. But let's go have a look at what we can do to make you guys some coins. Of course, the giveaways will, so make sure to get your entries in for the ones that are outstanding. Firstly, you know what you got to complete: marquee matchups and daily fantasy FC challenge. Now, obviously, this challenge, it realistically just gets you a nice little contribution towards your club. Obviously, it's a little bit tricky to do off the bat from there. I tend to just go on a footbin solution or use the bot that I've got to complete the SBC because it will just do it for you. Of course, if we go over to the icons, you guys know first two sections of every icon is essentially free coins. By completing these two SBCs, you essentially get around, let's say, 7k on average back. We've got what, 8, 12. So we've got 14 SBCs at the minute. So you're looking at about 100k from just completing the start of all of these. And that's a really easy contribution towards your club. And of course, in order to get them free, all you've got to do is come to here, do your daily golds, your daily bronzes, etc. And you can craft into them very, very easily. Then, of course, the next step is going to be going to the transfer market. Now, right now, informs have had a nice little rise, which means just on the bottom layer of things, we can just go gold team of the week and most leagues. And you've got a few options. So if we go for one of my particular favorites, actually, which is just gold team of the week, and we want to go to, if we go to N, I believe, Norway. So you've got a few in this batch. You've got Odegaard, you've got Hergerberger, you've got Odegaard again, you've got Forsduet. So I think there's kind of a few options. Obviously, Haaland's a little bit off of the mark there, and so is a few of these cards. But if you have a look here, we've got a couple 87s, 89s. You just kind of want to get rid of the cards that aren't as good. So an easy way to do that, if we have a look, Playstyles Plus is an easy addition to this one. It removes all of the lower rating players. Obviously, you're left with Odegaard, a Hansen card, which I can't imagine is going to be very easy to snipe. But I don't know how she's 900k. Maybe, I think that's a guess rating higher than the one that I was looking at before. You've got 30k on Sorloth here. Odegaard not too far ahead. Haaland, obviously, little bit more expensive than the other guys. But we pop this to around 35, we should be able to see kind of the lower end of it. So 32 seemingly being the bottom sort of this guy, 32 there. They're all pretty much bang on, just under 33. So EA tax on this is about 1,750, which brings us here. If we take off another 500 or even 750, it brings us there. So that's 750 profit that we're going to get per card on this one. Now, bear in mind, Sorloth Info hasn't been in packs for a little while, I don't think. I think it was semi-recent, but not, you know, really, really recent. So it might take a little while for one to pop up. Odegaard, I do think you've got a good chance of people making the mistake of listing in for 32 instead of 42. So I think you've got a very good opportunity potentially in that one there. So that's a nice one to obviously creep up on afterwards. Obviously, compare price is a good way of doing this one. There's a few options you have. Now, once you've done this one, you might want to obviously increase the value. So we're going to have to look at different special cards because a lot of the informs are kind of locked at that base level. Now, first of all, we can have a look at this filter. So this one here has kind of dropped massively comparatively to what it was. We've gone from essentially them both being like 600,000 coins. I mean, the fact that they've gone arguably quite, I guess, there's not many on the market. I don't know why that Playstyles Plus affected how many came up. But we have a look at 500k. I think there's a Benzema or so maybe. See if there's any of him creeping at that price. He's seemingly exceedingly more than he should be. We've got Kante here, who has had his own SBC since and is somehow a good chunk price-wise. Oh, 216. So that's not too bad at all. So if we come down to around the 200k mark, obviously you're very much hopeful on the Benzema side of things. It's a good one to just compare price with. If you get a Benzema, you've probably got one of the snipes of the century, but you can spend a bit of time on Kante. You've got a good chance of getting a fair snipe. I mean, this one is coming up under market value. It looks like he goes for about, I'd say, what, 215. So it looks like, oh, that 209's already gone. So if we argue maybe a 220 sale, EA tax on that 10% can be 11k. So realistically, we need to be picking him up at about 200. So if you can get that on a snipe, definitely one that it's not going to be easy to get, but potentially it will come up. So it looks like that 209 is there, but then on the other one it wasn't. So I'm a bit skeptical of that. So we're just going to go to 201. Anything below here is about 10k profit. So minimum of 10k, can be more. Obviously it's a no-brainer. Really, really easy little filter to just pop yourself through. Now another easy one, because we're not spending too much time on each filter today, we're going to head over to honorable mentions team of the year. And just because we got one at the start, Man City, you got a couple in here. So we got Bernardo, we got Edison. They're pretty much bang on the exact same price, which makes things a lot easier for us. If we go to the 90k mark, we've got Bernardo here. So realistically, if he's coming in at 90,000 coins, EA tax on that one is going to be about 5k. So if we go to about, I'd say 83 maybe, 83, 500, that kind of mark. Easy kind of mark to be sniping this guy on. Now, bear in mind, obviously, I am rushing through the filters today because I haven't had dinner. I've done 10 rounds of boxing sparring. I've done a 2k run after that. I've done sit-ups. I've done press-ups. I've done the work. So I'm pretty exhausted. So rather than me going through and actually sniping, I'm just showing you guys. And I'm not even sniping. I can't believe I was doing that on the wrong filter. But the Madri filter that I showed you guys the other day is absolutely banging. She is an unbelievable one. And just to show you guys again, just because there wasn't too many views on that video, so I know a lot of you won't have seen this anyway. But if you go fantasy foot, centre mid, I think minimum 100k it was, or it might have been French. Let me just check. So we'll go just centre mid off the bat. I think is Kalanoglu and Madri. I think it's just those two. Now, I've actually packed both of these, so I've got them in my club, but they're both untradeable. Now, I will be honest, I don't actually think Madri plays that well, but I made an absolute ton of her the other day. That 150 might have been a snipe, to be fair. Is there many? Bit of a jump there. I think she goes for about 170. EA tax at 170 is about, we'll say 10k to call it like fair. So that's a little bit on the cusp of what I'd want. I'm saying if we can get one for 155, that would be my ideal price for this one. So we're just going to pop the 155 down. 157, both of those would be about 3k profit. I'm just a little bit worried that she might drop. And then you're not getting as much profit. It becomes like a K, and then all of a sudden I've liquidated 300k of my coins to not be able to actually do anything with them. So we don't really want to be in that position. So hopefully we can just grab ourselves a nice little 156. We got one there at 157, so I'm just praying. I mean, realistically, I think this card will definitely sell at 170. I'm just being a bit cautious. I get a little bit paranoid with these things. I've obviously been burned a few times before with snipes like this. So 155 would be nice because we've got a little safety cushion. Anything less would be good. I got one for 120 yesterday on a snipe, which was ridiculous. Obviously, at that point, she was going for like I think 180. So it was a nice little profit there, and so that boosted up my coins. So I think she's a brilliant one for, especially when packs are coming out, and you've got a lot of people on the market. I think she's one that is just going to be a brilliant one to snipe. We'll pop it down to 156. We'll do a 10 count just because, as I say, I am in a rush to just get some scram down me. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nah, not fancy it. Well, I'm sorry I haven't got any snipes today, guys. I've been in a bit of a rush. I do apologise. You know the drill, though. Subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.